Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Sports Fan Network, and I'm Travis.
And I'm Andrew.
And today in our video, we're going to be doing the AFC Championship preview between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New England Patriots. Andrew, I got to ask you, man, how does it feel that the Jacksonville Jaguars are in the AFC Championship game?
It's I'm still getting used to it. It's very interesting. But you know what? I think the Jacksonville Jaguars, got to give credit to them. They've earned it. They played a great game against the Steelers last week. And who would have thought it would be their offense that would end up winning the game for them, scoring 45 points against the Steelers. I know two of their touchdowns were basically a result of their defense, but you got to give Blake Bortles and that offense a lot of credit. They absolutely went to town on that Steelers defense, and they showed the Steelers that maybe you shouldn't overlook your opponents in the playoffs, especially against a team that is hungry and ready to get after it. So Jacksonville, yeah, it's getting used to it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you're right. Where they do deserve to be here. They've had a terrific season. And the Steelers, you got to be careful what you wish for. They said they wanted to play Jacksonville, and, well, they lost again to them. But, Patriots last week, they blew out the Tennessee Titans. The defense dominated, had 8 sacks all season long. Everyone's been asking, where's the Patriots pass rush? Where's the Patriots pass rush? Guess what? They just saved it for the postseason. That's all. Maybe the presence of James Harrison in the locker room might have helped too. But, talking about this matchup between the Jags and the Patriots, Andrew, I'll start with you. What are the Jags' keys to this game?
Well, for the Jaguars, I think it starts on the defensive end, obviously. They got to put pressure on Tom Brady. Tom Coughlin, his defenses in New York when they played the Patriots in those 2 Super Bowls, what they like to do is they like to rush 4 and get pressure, particularly up the middle against Brady, who's not very comfortable when you get pressure in his face. They're going to need to do that in this one. And they have the guys to do it. Malik Jackson, Calais Campbell. These guys can rush the passer from the inside. They're going to need to do that early and often because the Patriots, they're not going to be shy about throwing the football around, even against this Jaguars secondary, which is so good. I think the Steelers showed you last week that you can put points on this unit if you scheme right and if you execute. And the Patriots, they're one of the best teams in the NFL, if not the best team in the NFL, at executing their game plan. So they're going to put some pressure on Tom Brady to kind of disrupt that rhythm early on and make sure that he's rattled a little bit. Maybe they can force a few turnovers here and there.
Yeah, Brady definitely likes to step up in the pocket when he throws. And if he can step up into the pocket, he's not going to have as much power on his throws. And that's when he has bad throws where they go high or they're inaccurate. So you're right. The Jaguars, they definitely need to get rush on Brady, particularly up the middle. But for me, my key is they need to find a way to match up against Gronk. And that is a very difficult task. It's a lot easier said than done. Because if you put a corner on Gronk, they're just too small. He can use his body. He can position himself. They're just not big enough to handle Gronk's power. If you put a linebacker on them, they're usually not fast enough to cover Gronk. And then the safety just usually isn't good enough in coverage to go up against Gronk. He is truly the defense, nightmare matchup. But there is an interesting guy on the Jaguars team who I do think can match up with him very well. And that could be either Telvin Smith, who has incredible speed from sideline to sideline, one of the best athletic linebackers in the game. I think that would be an interesting matchup, or the young linebacker Miles Jack. And if that's not working, they can always switch to always having like a linebacker or safety covering him, having a guy on the over the top on Gronk, because that's Tom Brady's main weapon on offense. Besides Brandon Cooks, that's their main 2 receiving threats. But that's how I think they could try to find a way to slow down Gronk.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, like you said, but I think Miles Jack especially, he played running back in college. You got to remember this. He played running back as a freshman, which is pretty spectacular. He's just a fantastic athlete. I think he's got the athleticism to match up with Rob Gronkowski, but like you said, a lot easier said than done. Rob Gronkowski's got a lot of nuances to his route running that he's developed over the past few seasons, so it will be really tough for them to really match up against him. But I'm going to go to the offense here for the Jaguars for our final key. Simple as this. They're going to have to ground and pound all day long against the Patriots because Bortles, even though he did make a few throws last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he was really essential for them getting that W, man, I can't trust him. I don't think the Jaguars trust him either. He only threw the ball 26 times last week, and that was in a shootout pretty much for the entire game. It was pretty much a shootout. So, I mean, I don't think they trust Bortles. I think they're going to try and scheme a lot of ways to make sure he's only making easy throws. But, man, against a Bill Belichick defense, they're going to have to find a way to just run the ball and just keep on pounding the Patriots defense no matter what. Because if they're going to get in a shootout against Tom Brady, chances are it's not going to work out for them. I feel like last week against Ben Roethlisberger was a little bit of a fluke in terms of them matching up points-wise. You know, because like I said, you can't really trust Blake Bortles in my opinion. He had a really shaky game against the Bills in the playoffs, and for large stretches against the Steelers, I thought he was pretty shaky as well, even though he did make a few big throws late in the game. So, that's the thing for the Jaguars. Can they run the ball? And I think they have the horse to do with Leonard Fournette. So we'll see what they can do there.
Yeah, well, moving on to the Patriots' keys to the game. For me, my first one is that they need to find a way to keep Brady protected because they're going up against a Jacksonville team that really matches up with them very well with their corners, their linebackers. The Jacksonville pass rush is the best in the league. That's why they're known as Saxonville. And I think they're going to get after Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady's going to have to get rid of the ball very quickly because this Jacksonville pass rush is very good. But the Patriots – they're probably going to have to keep another tight end in there to help them off the edge with their elite pass rushers, and they need to find a way where Brady has a clean pocket to throw from.
Yeah, one way they can do that is by establishing the run. If there's really one weakness for this Jaguars defense, it's the run defense. They're 21st in the league in rushing defense this season. Some of that is because they're a very aggressive unit. They love to get to the quarterback, which is why they were so good at rushing the passer this season. But if the Patriots can find a way to balance it out a little bit, and make sure there's not so much pressure on Brady where he has to throw it 50 to 60 times against this great secondary led by Jalen Ramsey, A.J. Boye, just two shutdown corners. If they can help him out a little bit by establishing a running game with Deion Lewis, maybe get Gillislee back into the game plan. He hasn't really been a big part of their team over the past few weeks. Maybe if they can establish the run a little bit, that can go a long way to kind of helping out Brady and making sure he doesn't have that pressure in his face the entire game. And that can go a long way in slowing down the pass rush as well.
Yeah, I also think the running backs can be very heavily involved in the passing game too. We look at James White, who's the Super Bowl MVP, his presence, and when he had all of those catches, it's a very big threat catching the ball in the backfield. I think if the running game isn't going for the Patriots, that'll be another offensive way they could turn to.
Yeah, we talked about the Jaguars trying to make sure that Blake Bortles isn't really relied upon too much. I think for the Patriots, the last key for them to go on the defensive side of the ball has to be to let Bortles beat them defensively because they can stop the run early on and force Blake Bortles to have to throw the ball. I know the Jaguars are going to do everything they can to make sure that doesn't happen and that Blake Bortles is going to have to hand it off as much as possible. But if they can get a lead early on and force Blake Bortles to throw the ball, that is playing right into the Patriots defense's hands right there because their strength is in their secondary, led by Malcolm Butler, Stephon Gilmore, Devin McCourty. There's a lot of talent in that secondary, and they're coached very well by Bill Belichick, of course. And like you said, their pass rush. They got 8 sacks last week against the Tennessee Titans, who have a pretty good offensive line. So if they can get some pressure on Blake Bortles in the passing game, that'll go a long way to helping out, just making sure they can create some turnovers to get the ball back to Tom Brady. Because if you give Tom Brady extra possessions, no matter how good the defense is, he's going to find a way to score points, especially touchdowns. So I think that'll be a great advantage for the Patriots if they can shut down the run early on and force Blake Bortles to have to throw the ball a little bit more than they're accustomed to.
Yeah, so overall, who do you think is going to win this game?
Well, I have to go with the evil empire here. The Patriots, I feel like they're going to win this one. They're a 9.5-point favorite. According to the Las Vegas, which is I found very interesting. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than that because the Jaguars' defense is so good, but it's just really hard to go against Tom Brady in a championship game at home with Blake Bortles as the other quarterback. Are you kidding me? No, it's gotta go with Tom Brady here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I also have the Patriots winning. I think it's gonna be a very fun game to watch because, like I said, I think Jacksonville matches up with them very well on defense. But like you said, it's Blake Bortles. I don't think Blake Bortles is going to play better than Tom Brady, which he basically needs to if they're going to beat the Patriots. I think the Patriots' defense is going to continue to do well like they did last week against the Titans. It's in Foxborough. I have the Patriots. This one, they're going to be going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, thanks, guys, for watching our video and our previews for the NFL playoffs. Make sure you give us a like on Facebook, and make sure to like us on Facebook. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to comment in the comments section below. Give us your thoughts on who you think is going to win and what do you think the key matchups are going to be in this game.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching.